I was just wondering if you remember how we met, Juan.
I don't.
No?
I know at least back to 1996, but
Yes. Actually,
maybe earlier.
Probably earlier. I remember it was at this place called the Hat House on Milwaukee Avenue.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You were the sound engineer there. Right?
I think I was at that time.
Yeah.
And I remember you playing this song, which I wish we had a guitar. Tuvimos un sirenito.
Oh, La Sirenita.
La Sirenita. And I was quite amazed by that song. And I'm like, wow. And after you got off from stage, I asked your name and all that, you know. And
so
then,
what was it, like an open mic or something? Or?
No, I think it was a birthday party.
Oh, okay.
Or one of those Caravan to Cubans events or something. Was something kind of informal. And but I was quite surprised by that song, and I really liked the way you did it, so that's why I decided to talk to you. And then I found out that you were starting Sones de Mexico, and when did you start that?
In 94.
94. Oh,
so we met that long ago, huh?
Yeah,
wow.
So I remember that.
So probably one of the first people I met in Chicago.
Oh, what year did you come here?
93.
93, wow.
Yeah.
Because I arrived to Chicago in 89.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably right from the very beginning. The first Peña was held in here, right? This building 99?
Yes.
Do you remember when was that?
Yeah, I mean we have. I think we have footage of that night. From as being trained as an ethnomusicologist, I was very. The documentation was like second nature to me. I would say, as soon as we were starting this, I knew we had to have some kind of recording device going to preserve these presentations.
I remember you told me there are some pictures of the first Peña, and I'm in one of those pictures. But I didn't know that it was the first Peña. It just happened that I stopped by, and so you came up with the name La Peña then?
Yes.
And where did you come up with the name from? It's just something.
Oh, because I knew what a peña is,
okay.
So it was, peñas. There was a peña that Nelson Sosa started. I think he was the pioneer of peñas in Chicago, in different restaurant and Fiesta Mexicana, or he'd have a peña. And then Ñandú, Uruguayan restaurant, the empanadas place, Argentinian, opened on Fullerton.
Yes.
And they began to have peñas. So we named ours La Peña because like the Peña. This is the one.
Yeah.
And it's a little presumptuous, but we added the La before it.
Yeah, because I started working at UIC with Rodrigo Carramiñana.
Oh yeah.
And I decided to copy
the model.
The model, and I called it La Peña of UIC.
Oh yeah.
And I remember that I never had any experience as an MC, as presenting anything, but I would copy everything that you would say at the Old Town School, the way you present yourself, the way you say, welcome everybody. I would just emulate everything, word by word.
One of the problems too was there was no budget for it. It was tiny budget that we got to produce this. So we started with a faculty that we had at the time. We had a flamenco class, we had a flamenco guitar, we had I think we had started Wiggle Worms in Spanish. We had Roberto Arce, a Peruvian guitarist, who was teaching just guitar in Spanish. So those are the people we started with. And then I was starting a group, Sones de Mexico, and Sam was my extracurricular activity. And I brought them in, some people early on. Nelson Sosa, I think, was around. And
yeah, he was one of the first ones.
Early days. So that's the evolution of La Peña. It was a strategy. It was a strategy to bring people through the door and let them experience the Old Town School. And then we added some, we wanted the people to feel comfortable, to feel welcome. Mm-hmm. So the idea of maybe bringing some empanadas, to some food. And it was a hassle. I mean, we had to go get them, drive them in here while the artists were sound checking because they had to be warm, or some people would deliver, but some people didn't, so it was, for whoever was running that operation was really a pain. But I think some people came to see those Wednesday night shows because they could eat the empanadas, and then, the music.
There was another sound engineer, Marcos Soeiro, before me.
Oh, that's right.
And Marcos decided to move to New York City, and I knew Marcos, and he says, I want you to continue my job as a sound engineer at the Old Town School. And at first I say, no, I'm not really interested, because I was more into playing music, recording CDs and stuff. But he kept insisting, like, you know what, I know you, and I know you're gonna love it, like it, So I said, okay, fine, And I went there, and it was love at the first sight, And in the beginning, I felt like I was not knowing what to do too much, I knew the basic of sounds. But I think with time and years, La Peña became my school of sound. I learned a lot, like he was saying, about having the experience of what can go wrong on stage on a live situation. And that's what I think I got all my knowledge, And for a little while, I was teaching guitarra en español at Old Town School. But it got to the point where I have to pick one, and then sound, it's always been my passion.
Another thing we used to do in La Peña was open mic nights. Like every season, we would have one night when anybody could sign up and would get an opportunity to do one song. So there was no filter, anybody. Yeah. And that was a very popular night. People really enjoy that, and I liked it that it brought La Peña back to its roots, of what a Peña should be, a very sharing, the open mic format, and we had people who every time we had a open mic they would be back and
I was part of it. I signed up for all of them. So Juan would be on stage presenting me, and I would be on the board, and then I run to the stage and he would run to the board for one song, and then we switch back. It was a lot of fun.
No, at one point Luis released a couple of albums, and we released them at La Peña. Then we had to get another sound engineer to.
Right. Yeah, I did record 2 CDs, and to be able to present those CDs at the Old Town School on the main stage, for me was one of the highlights of my career as a musician, as a songwriter. So
right.
I'll thank you for that.
Yeah.
It's something different. I'm very thankful to the school, to Juan for giving me an opportunity at one point, and also the actual staff at the school is great. I mean, I get along really well with everybody. My mentor there right now is Rob Fishman, and he's awesome. So I'm really, really thankful.